Are you ready to play 9 Men's Morris?
Drag the challenge level slider to set the difficulty. Then click Play Computer to play against the computer, or click 2 players to play against a friend.
If you find a strong position in a game, write down the pattern so you will remember it next time. Remember to balance your offensive and defensive moves. Sometimes it's more important to block your opponent's mill than to create one of your own. Click play to start the game or click the question mark to learn the rules of Nine Men's Morris.
Nine Men's Morris is a game that is almost 3,000 years old and has been played all around the world. The first people believed to play Nine Men's Morris were the ancient Egyptians. A playing board from 1400 BC was found carved into the roof of a temple at Kurna. Another board was found carved into stone near the Great Pyramids of Giza. Perhaps the workers who built the Great Pyramids played the game. A board was also found in the ruins of the ancient city of Troy. Troy was made famous by Homer's epic poems, the Iliad and the Odyssey. You might have heard of some of the characters from these mythical poems, like Helen of Troy, Achilles, and Odysseus. Later, Nine Men's Morris became popular in Europe. In England, it was played by noblemen on large country estates. The board was made of real hedges, and children or servants were the game pieces. William Shakespeare even described a garden Morris board in his comedy, A Midsummer Night's Dream.
The Nine Men's Morris is filled up with mud, and the quaint mazes in the wanton green for lack of tread are undistinguishable.
Now, imagine yourself as an archaeologist digging into a huge grave mound in Norway in 1880. Slowly you uncover the remains of a Viking ship with a Nine Men's Morris board carved into the deck. After death, Viking chieftains were often buried in their ships with everyday necessities such as helmets, combs, swords, and axes. In some Viking farmhouses, they used turf for the roof, from which the grass continued to grow. The walls were made of wood, stone, or blocks of turf to keep out the severe winter cold. The Vikings wrote with stick-like letters called runes. Vikings carved these runes into stone in the places they traveled. This inscription says, "Wealth dies, kinsmen die, a man himself must likewise die, but word fame never dies for him who achieves it well." Vikings were famous seamen. They traveled great distances without any modern navigational systems. One of the most famous Vikings is Eric the Red's son, Leif Erikson. Many historians think that around 1001 AD, he sailed to what is now Newfoundland on the North American continent. He called it Vinland. This was almost 500 years before Christopher Columbus's voyage. When you play Nine Men's Morris, you face the same challenges confronted by the Egyptians, the Trojans, English kings, the Vikings, and all the others who have enjoyed the game for thousands of years.
Thanks for playing.
Hello, my friend.
Drag the challenge level slider.
Click play to start a game or click the question mark to learn the rules of Gomoku.
To start a game, Gomoku is a variation of another board game called Go, and Go originated in China thousands of years ago. In ancient China, accomplished Go players were revered as sages or wise men. Around 500 AD, Japanese traders, ambassadors, and explorers began traveling to China. These were probably the first people to introduce Go to Japan. For centuries thereafter, Go was played exclusively by the Japanese royalty. By the 13th century, Go also became popular with the samurai, who were the armed champions of the leading Japanese families. Much like the knights of Europe, the samurai adhered to a strict code of conduct. Go was so revered by the warriors that Go lessons were mandatory at Japan's military academy, and Go boards were standard equipment to be carried into battle. Traditional arts and sports still thrive in contemporary Japanese society. In sumo wrestling, wrestlers try to push each other out of a small sand ring or knock each other over. It is common for competitors to weigh over 300 pounds. Another traditional ceremony, though much different than sumo, is the tea ceremony. A tea ceremony is a formal set of customs regarding the preparation, presentation, and drinking of the tea. For formal occasions such as tea ceremonies, women may wear kimonos. Some women have different kimonos for different times of the year. Kimono design has been a highly developed art form for hundreds of years. Another unique Japanese art form is kabuki theater. Kabuki combines song, dance, and acrobatic skill. Kabuki performances have elaborate settings and have costumes that weigh as much as 60 pounds. A much different type of Japanese theater is the no play. Actors in a no play wear masks that represent their characters and their emotions. There are many different kinds of masks for all situations.
See you later.
Welcome. Drag the challenge level slider to set Mancala is an ancient board game that has been played for thousands of years all over the world. Mancala has its roots in agrarian or agriculture-based societies. The Mancala board may represent the field, and the game pieces represent seeds being planted in the field. Variations of the game continue to be popular today in many countries. There are as many names for Mancala as there are variations of the game. In Africa, many tribes carve elaborate Mancala boards in their native art form. Some boards are up to 20 feet long. One of the tribes that plays a variation of Mancala is the Maasai tribe of East Africa. The Maasai live in a large area of wilderness near the Kenya-Tanzania border. Sopa, welcome to my tribe, the Maasai. After a hot day of hunting or running through the midday sun, we are ready to relax, sit in the shade, and play mancala. The equipment you need is so simple. You can play by just drawing a board in the dirt and using stones for pieces. Even these young cowherders have time for a game now and then. My people are semi-nomadic, which means we move from place to place, staying wherever there is grass and water for our cattle. Here you see our new village, or boma. Our houses are built of sticks, mud, grass, and cow dung. Did you know that in our tribe the men often have long hair? Our warriors dye it red to look more fierce. Warriors must undergo an initiation ceremony after spending more than a month training. At a special camp, the warriors-to-be fast, pray to our god, Enkai, and learn traditions from our elders. We do not fight very often anymore, nor raid for cattle like we used to do. However, our warriors still practice traditions that have existed in our tribe for hundreds of years. This is my mother, Ngoko. She and the other women in our tribe shave their heads, as we think that is beautiful. My mother has collected sticks for my brother to make into spears. I hope you've enjoyed hearing about my people, the Maasai. Now it is evening here, and I am going to sit around the fire with my friends to listen to our elders telling stories about our tribe's travels and adventures. Good night.
Thanks for playing. Goodbye.